Hi, I'm Hannah. Welcome to another episode of RP Gallery, a show where we host a rotating gallery of role-playing games. Today, I'm going to be asking James, our DM, about Battletech, A Time of War.
Heard my name?
Welcome.
Welcome. Okay. I guess I'm not DM right now yet.
No, but you are here to answer questions as our DM.
Yes, absolutely. I've been doing this a long time. I love role-playing games, and specifically Battletech. What questions do you have for me?
Well, I was wondering, what is your prior experience with Battletech, A Time of War?
Well, I played a lot of Battletech, the strategy game, when I was younger. I've played several of the Battletech games online, and then I would say it was about 2016. A group of friends and I played A Time of War, and I don't think our DM was very used to the mechanics. And he interspersed traditional Battletech with A Time of War, so we kind of bounced back and forth between it all. Where if you notice, A Time of War is really, it's more of a game of what happens outside the mechs.
Yes.
And during that time, that's where I fell in love with the Raven, because I was given this little tiny Raven, and I fought an Atlas. And an Atlas is a pretty darn big mech, and a Raven's about as light as it gets. And yes, I defeated an Atlas with a Raven by doing Death from Above repeatedly. And
that is your favorite move.
Yeah, it definitely is. But as far as actually playing it, I have run at least, I'd say, probably 2,000 sessions of role-playing games or more in my life. That's a safe estimate, 2,000. And I have run A Time of War once, but I've played it 3 times.
Okay.
And it's just the constant switching back and forth between RPGs. Sometimes you'll forget a little mechanic, and so you need to keep the book handy. But as far as actually playing it, my favorite character, his name was Andy. He was a mechanic. He came from a background where he was a war orphan. Both of his parents worked for the Free Worlds League as scientists who had discovered some old Star League tech and were working on that. And part of my character's backstory, which we played this for over a year, was that he had to come to learn what was in this package that his parents had left for him. They left this, if anything ever happened, so let's give this to our kid. And it looked like at first that it was just like a data storage with a communicator on it, as in like home videos. And if you hit play, it would play them. But as we progressed through the campaign, they had hidden all of their secrets in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so this really spunky, I hate the world orphan all of a sudden goes from being angry with his parents for abandoning him to understanding what they actually went through. And then he unlocks this technology and realizes how vital it is. And we played right up to the clan invasion. And in our story, the only reason why our company survived the clan invasion was because of Andy's tech that his parents had left.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my experience.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience.
Yeah. I mean, I'm old.
Well, my next question is, what, if any, inspirations did you have for this current campaign?
Okay, have you ever played Portal?
I have.
Okay, so you remember GLaDOS?
Yes.
If you take GLaDOS and you mixed her with a little bit of Wednesday Addams and a little bit of Cortana,
Okay.
you get Nadia.
That is fantastic. GLaDOS, Wednesday, and Cortana.
You notice her like snarky attitude?
Yeah.
She's actually really goth if you take the time to talk to her.
I could see that.
Yeah, and I mean, you notice like she was watching the whole time, never cared what any of the stuff you did, would occasionally pipe in with, yeah, you want to do this thing too.
Yeah.
But another thing that I really liked, an inspiration was actually from my character Andy, the land air mech that his parents left.
As you were talking, I was
Yeah.
I was wondering in my own head, was that part of your inspirations?
Yes. So, little spoiler: Nadia is a land air mech.
Yes.
But she is artificially intelligent. And in the world of Battletech, nuclear warfare and AI have both been outlawed. That doesn't mean that those things don't exist. Just because you outlaw a thing, that's not going to make your enemies get rid of it. It's just going to make it go underground.
Right.
So I was like, okay, where can I throw a curveball at them? And then actually drew a little inspiration from the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, so these guys are pretty well known. They're going to be total patsies. And who would use them as patsies more than the Draconis Combine?
Yeah.
So in the previous episode, that general launched a missile at the base. And in episodes before that, where he had attacked a moon of peaceful farmers. And for that one, I did take a little bit of inspiration from character creation, and where everything was rolled randomly. And Ash rolled a Battletech version of Luke Skywalker, essentially.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to borrow that. I'm going to blend Tatooine and Hoth. And the Empire is the Draconis Combine.
I absolutely see that.
And that's what happened. And so the ruthlessness of the commander, I really tried to look at other movies that have space commanders that are just evil. And even though you guys haven't interacted with this commander really at all directly, everything that's happened to you has been at his hands.
Right.
And so we'll see if you meet him.
Well, speaking of the commander, how do you come up with such interesting characters?
Okay, so that's another interesting one. I actually try to draw from people I actually know, right?
Okay.
And think about the things I like the best about them and the things I like the worst about them, right? Because there is nobody without flaws. We all have flaws. Even the
Right.
best people, there's something about the people you love that just grates you sometimes.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I like to do is I want to make a character that is just a complete badass in some respect, but not in every respect. You pick one or two things that they do really, really well, and then you give them equal parts flaws. There's something they're terrible at. And you wind up with characters that are believable.
Yeah.
And you'll actually find things in like, wow, I really like that. And so, for example, we get into George, right? Thinking about George, I have a friend from another city who owns a restaurant, and he owns food trucks. And yeah, and he has people that work for him, and he won't allow them to season the meat at all because he says no one does it right. He's the only person who can do it perfectly. Now, here's the thing. I have tasted when he allowed other people to season the meat, and he's right.
Really?
Yes, he is just that good at seasoning meat. Now, here's another thing is, and I'm not going to name his name or even where he was, but I used to occasionally help him with making repairs to his trucks or his restaurant, and I had installed his surveillance systems for him. And one night he called me and said someone just tried to rob one of his trucks, and he was there, and he needed me to pull the footage to give to the police. And I went and pulled the footage, and this guy, the guys that tried to rob him, they opened fire. And he shot back and shot out all the windows in their getaway car.
Wow.
And he was my inspiration for George.
I love that,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. And now, and this guy, I very clearly there are some differences, but he used to, he was a pretty muscular guy, and he always called himself fat.
Hence why we have Fat Boy.
Yeah, because he called himself fat.
I love that.
Yeah. And then talking about Preacher, I knew a guy that was kind of a beanpole who'd drive really, really well. And he was also a bit of a religious fanatic, but he was also a bit of a pyromaniac. And it was very interesting. And so I modeled Preacher after him.
Yeah.
I had another friend who was a communications engineer. He used to work on radar systems. He also was an MMA fighter. And so Rookie beat you with a chair.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're loosely based on people I know. And then sometimes I will take attributes and mix them. I have another, well, I don't want to talk about characters that you're going to meet in this episode. Goodness, that would spoil things.
Well, then we can save it for another time.
Yeah. So what else you got for me?
Have we met or broken your expectations for the game?
I would say as far as like story-wise, you guys did everything exactly like I thought you would. And my writing style is a little different than a lot of other people. I tend to make an outline and then a few branches within that outline and then just leave it at that. And I fill in all the gaps as I go. And I'll have a few key details like I'm going to insert this somewhere. Because if you do anything other than that, one of two things happens. Either the players feel railroaded or your entire story breaks down. So you've got to walk that road up the middle to be prepared for whatever people throw at you. And that's more of an art than a science.
Yeah. It's really impressive that you do that so well.
Thank you. It's just a lot of practice.
Yeah.
A lot of practice.
I understand.
Any other questions?
Well, I want to know what your favorites are in the campaign. Favorite mech.
Ooh, okay. My favorite mech is not in the campaign. And it's going to be one of three. I like the Nova, the Marauder, and the Timberwolf. Those are my three favorite mechs, hands down, and for different reasons. The Nova, primarily just as a really fast jumping laser boat. The Marauder has a little more armor, but often carries PPCs or Gauss rifles, and those just wreck stuff.
Yeah.
Or the Timberwolf, which is a combination of everything. It's built off the Mad Cat, but it adds a lot of extra weaponry and missile platforms. And so just as you're scaling up, from a medium to a heavy to an assault, that's kind of how I would go. And for light, I would say the Raven.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't really have any of those in this.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the Phoenix Hawk, though.
I'm glad. I tried to pick things that I thought you guys would really enjoy that kind of fit the characters you had created.
Yeah.
So
I can tell that you put a lot of thought and effort into this campaign.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Speaking of, is there any lore that you just really love? It doesn't even have to be about the campaign necessarily.
Well, I think the entire story of the Battletech universe is pretty neat. The idea that humanity is stretching into the stars, but that we are our own worst enemy. In the lore, there were some alien encounters, but it was never anything big. It really, more than anything, it kind of treated our galaxy as if it was an untapped wilderness. And the idea was that, there are some other living things here, but there's nothing really comparable to us. And because of that, humanity, when we don't have a monster to fight, we become the monster. And so if you follow that lore in Battletech, in the Battletech universe, we became monsters. And we declared all-out war on one another.
Wow.
And imagine nuclear war on an interplanetary scale, so severe that all the survivors say, no one is ever firing a nuclear missile again. We're going to settle our disputes with these giant robots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wrap your head around that one.
I'm trying.
Yeah. And it wasn't like it hit every planet. It's just, war is a terrible thing. And even though it's something that we often play for the strategic element of it, when you actually take the time to think about it, war is awful. And the things that people do to one another in the name of territory or in the name of money or fame or power are awful.
Yeah.
And there's this bell curve where the average, we're all in the middle, and where it peaks, we want peace. But on those extremes, all they want is money and territory and power, and they don't care about people like you and I.
Right.
And so the history is always written from the perspective of the victor. So what I prefer to do when I tell stories is tell the story from the perspective of the average Joe. You're not special. Show me what makes you special. Be what you're needed to be. And I feel like that sells a story much better than the Mary Sue nature of, oh, hey, we're all superheroes, you know?
I think that's because it makes it feel more personalized.
Yeah. And so this campaign was very short. I did let you guys stack the deck to be a lot more powerful than you would normally be in this game. But I also gave you guys some pretty big flaws, and I stacked the deck against you really heavily.
Yeah.
And so it balances out, I think.
I think so. Speaking of flaws and characteristics of the player characters, is there one player character in particular that you're really liking right now?
I think that's hard because I feel like all four of you have played your characters very well as they were written. So if we look at we'll just start with Jade and with her mech Danger, right?
Yep.
She is playing the role of essentially an illiterate slave kid that grew up in space Vegas, right? And she's playing the role really well. But then you have Jared with his mechanic that hates the Draconis Combine. Everything that they stand for, he would rather, he wouldn't give them the dignity of spitting on their grave.
Right.
And he's really stuck to that. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take them for everything. I'm going to destroy everything. But he doesn't play just an evil character because people that aren't Draconis Combine, he's like, no, you're good.
Yeah.
I do like the devil may care attitude of Ashley's pilot. I think that she has every opportunity she's had tried to go, yeah, he ain't gonna care, do a barrel roll kind of thing. And I really like that. So, but then also to have your character as, it's like you were born white collar, you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to be legit, but the deeper in you get, the more you realize that everyone around you is dirty.
Yeah. And that's been a really big challenge for me, honestly, getting into the mindset of my character and sticking to it.
Yeah. I think you've all done a good job, and I can't say that I like any one of the characters better than another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if no player characters make you have a favorite, what about NPCs? Do you have a favorite NPC?
So when it comes to my NPCs, I'm generally indifferent in as far as favorites go toward the NPC until I see the way that the characters react to them. And when I've written an NPC that characters run into, and then they're like, oh, I really like that, or oh, I really hate this guy. I'm like, okay, cool, and I run with it. And it's more about the way that the players interact with the NPC is what makes me like it more.
Yeah.
I really do like the way that you guys responded to both Preacher and Rookie. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. I'm just not generally a person to pick favorites, but I would love to hear what the audience has to say.
I would too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard one for me.
Well, those are all of the questions that I had for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Is there anything that you think I could do better?
Honestly, no.
Except maybe memorize the rules a little.
Yeah, but we all need to memorize the rules.
It's hard because we do this so often, and then I also run a lot of other games that having to read an entire manual interspersed between our shows pretty much over the course of 6 weeks. It takes a lot.
It does.
And but I'm down for it. I'm just going to keep doing it. So.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. We ready to start the show?
Yeah, I think so. Let's do it.
All right.
With that, let's roll some dice.
Hello! Welcome to another episode of RP Gallery. I am here with
Anna. Hi. Jade.
Jared.
and we are playing Battletech, A Time of War.
I've been really enjoying it so far.
Yeah? So what did you think of our last session? Give me some thoughts before we dive into this and we give people a recap.
It was just chaos. I remember getting hit by a chair. And they're having their own fight down by the mechs. And at one point, Preacher and you threw a propane tank at different groups.
Yep.
That was fun.
A lighter.
Yeah.
Made it explode.
You got hit by an oil can.
I did get hit with an oil can, and that's okay because we're friends.
I don't know if you caught the mechanic's name. In my notes, the mechanic's name is Brooks. That's the last name. You said Brooks on their jumpsuit.
Draconis has been killing the civilians and the police force kind of people.
And there is an incoming missile from an illegal orbital launch.
I almost forgot about that.
Yes. So very clearly, the Defense Combine is breaking the rules.
Yeah.
That could lead to all-out war, or the Defense Combine would disown this general as a rogue commander. And that would be the more likely outcome if you managed to survive and prove that they were behind this.
Yeah. Like I said, pure chaos.
Yes. So
Still recording and still framing us for everything that's going on. So they started killing all the peace officers and
So right now we have a couple of strange minis on the map just because that's the nature of the beast. I don't have too many miniatures that are actually like Battletech foot soldiers. I have tons of mechs. So over here in the control room, that's this one, we have Rookie, who is heavily wounded, bleeding out, who managed to unlock all the doors before passing out. We have Preacher, who is trying to attend to him. We also we have Jared over here in the admin trying to download maps and data. We have Hannah in the hallway next to the morgue where she was engaged in a firefight. You guys are attempting to find the controls for Nadia. And you are attempting to find spices for George on this end of the map.
Yes.
The dude lost his whole family, and y'all are saying, are we?
I plan on
lose
trying
our
to-
whole lives.
I would say we've got like 2 minutes before the missiles hit. I know in character, them spices really ain't my problem.
I really feel
My
like
problem
I
is
feel
getting
like
it
we'll
and
get
getting
back
out.
to the ship, right? We'll get back to the ship, and everything will explode, and sort of be, you'll be like, oh, here, just take this. What spices?
I feel like my character wasn't on board with getting the spices until they met Rookie.
Mine wouldn't happen.
And then Rookie kind of
Found out that his wife gave him that spice rack.
And now it's just kind of a guilt thing. My character's doing it out of guilt.
Yeah. All right, so down on the other end, in Hangar 2, Ashley, you're driving, or you're piloting your mech, and you Kool-Aid Man through the hangar wall.
I did.
And you are now in the room with Hannah's.
Generous.
My mech is at the very end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's scary.
It's Jared's mech.
Which Jade's character is activating, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And it will be fired up shortly. You have not yet gotten to Danger.
He's surrounded by the enemy.
Yes. All right, so without further ado, then, we're going to jump back into this, and we're actually going to start with this end of the table. So, what are you doing?
I'm running into the morgue to get to the first aid kit.
All right. You enter the morgue, and there's a bunch of body bags in here
What? It's not the morgue.
that are full. It's a morgue. They're not put in the coolers.
Have
I'm gonna make a quick examination of the room.
What am I rolling?
Let's see, what skill would you like to apply to this? Some investigation.
Either investigation or perception is what I was thinking.
We're gonna go with investigation for this one. Despite the horrible odor, you look at the stuff in these bags. These are executed civilians from the room.
All this got dark.
Hey, so we don't have to bring back his spices if we can bring back his guns.
No, absolutely not.
In fact, this one that you're looking at
Penelope.
is a woman.
I was right! Is there a name tag?
No name tag. But you note the way that she's dressed. She looks like traditional coveralls, like a farmer.
I'm just not
Well,
going
this
to
is not a chef, right?
there a
And
first aid
two
kit?
smaller body bags next to her. You have not opened them.
I don't want to. At this point, my curiosity is satisfied.
Family
I want to
reunion.
get
Hanging on the wall is a first aid kit.
Okay.
It's not just like first aid, it's like a trauma kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many feet are these squares again?
They're about 5 feet.
Okay.
I think
Well,
we,
I grabbed the first aid kit. Can I walk
Your
back?
speed, like if your speed is 6, it means you can move 6 squares.
6 squares, yes.
I can move these.
So I moved 2 squares in. Can I move back 4?
Sure.
Does spacing matter for this one?
Not when you're on foot.
not no.
When you're in your mechs, we actually use the Battletech rule set.
I thought
Because Time of War is the role-playing game, not the mech combat game.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that was what you were doing, and what are you doing?
I'm trying to get this information downloaded and what have you.
Brooks was shot in the head with me.
Brooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a head wound.
Head wound.
He was grazed because
Okay.
he was
I
the last
can
one to
remember
get
how
shot.
specific it was.
He was grazed by the bullet.
What have you?
So computers.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I don't have anything better. That is 11 plus 2 is 13 plus int slash plus dex. So intelligence is a 0, so it's 13.
Okay, so with that score, you notice that there is a device attached to this console. It doesn't look like it was built by these people. It looks like some Draconis tech. Wires sticking out of it plug into the system. Would you like to investigate it?
Yeah. This is gonna be what I just investigation, or would I be more under like communications or something?
This wouldn't be comms, but I would allow you to use mechanics.
Oh, that's even better. That is 12 nat plus my mechanic skill 5, so 17.
This appears similar to a black box recorder. It seems to be patched into the comm system. You think that this may be the recordings of all of this.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
Okay. You have the black box.
So yeah, I want to get the maps and stuff downloaded.
You start downloading the maps. They're processing. You're going to be there for another turn to download them. So the moment you unplug the black box, an alarm goes off, and it starts flashing.
Not gonna make a missile falling fast.
Yeah, I mean,
They know you have it.
that's fine.
That's cool.
They already wanted to kill us.
Over your comms, someone with a very thick Japanese accent says, "Intruder, you do not know what you have,
At this point.
and you will die." And he says, "It is not too late to divert the missile. Reconnect the box."
Sure.
It's like all garbly and staticky and everything as it's coming through. And Nadia cuts him off and says, "I'm jamming his communications. I don't really like that guy."
Yeah, don't worry me either. I know how the Draconis
I
operates.
feel like you would do the exact opposite of what they want just because he's your kind of combat.
Well, it's like this. I already know how the Draconis operate. If I reattach it, they're not going to not kill us.
Yeah, for sure.
So
them at the end,
there's
yeah.
so there's
Nadia
no real
replies
reason
over the
to-
radio, "I believe your assessment is accurate."
Yeah, there's no reason to work with them. So yeah, I'm doing that. Am I able to leave the device that I'm downloading to connected and move towards
You
processing?
think that they were in the process of downloading the information off of that drive when you disconnected?
In the middle, can I hear over the comms?
You're on the other side of the complex. He's right near the radio tower. So from your end, you would hear some of it, but it would sound super static.
Okay, then never mind.
But yeah, so am I able to leave the device attached and move towards processing to kind of take a look?
You want the black box you already disconnected?
No, because I'm downloading the map data.
Okay, so you can leave that there and move towards processing? Sure.
Yeah.
You come out into the hallway. Oh, lo and behold, it's your captain.
Let's see. Let me see how many movement. I get 10 movements. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get into processing.
All right, you get into processing. You walk into this room. It is filled with Starleague tech. Most of it, you don't even really recognize what it does. You just recognize the Starleague logo. But as you're in there, Nadia's voice comes across the radio. And in that moment, you realize
It's like Christmas.
she's watching you through the security system.
Oh, yeah, I figured. Yeah.
And she says, "On the third shelf, center." And it, you just see this little thing that's just nondescript, and then it looks like a video game controller sitting on top of it.
Yes.
And there's a wire running between the two.
Whatever this is, I want it.
No.
Aww.
I want to know how much, because I'm waiting on that anyway. How much Starleague tech would I be able to pocket here?
Everything in this room is large. So to carry out the controller is going to be under one arm. I'll let you throw the black box in your bag. You can grab one item.
Go on, dude.
Okay.
The weapon in here?
Well, I think my character would be more interested in anything that looks like mech parts or.
Roll investigation.
Don't have a lot of that, but we're gonna try. Investigation. I don't have-
Don't try to look at the glass.
That is 10 plus. I think probably 0. Let me check. Yes, that is plus 0. So that is just 10 natural.
You spot a hard drive array that it looks like they were in the process of trying to patch into when all of this was interrupted by your arrival. And must be something pretty important on there.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, cool. You just- So you got, it's not like a little hard drive.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
This is a big, like,
Got like a big server,
drive.
big
Yeah.
server.
So you got that under one arm, you got the controller under the other, you got the black box in your
I just
bag.
see Jared like.
Your hands are
Gun in your
full.
teeth? Like-
You're not able to shoot now unless you put one of these down.
Put something down, pick it back up.
Image in my
Alright.
mind of Jared just coming out with something. Look
Okay,
what I
so on the other end of the complex, what are you all
got.
doing?
A squirrel trying to carry like 10 meds.
Well, we got 2 more mechs that need to be fired up so we can load them. I'm gonna cool it
Can I-
down for another one.
Can I?
Okay.
Yeah, I wanna just like low key open fire that way. See which one we
We
do.
haven't gotten it there yet.
Yeah, but after you cool it, though, I low key want to.
Okay. Well, are you figure? How do you want to do it? Because the mech that you are presently in isn't fired up yet, so don't be able to do it.
Is
do
it
that.
not fired up?
But
At the end of this round, it will be.
So
Um,
They're not instantaneous.
well, that's why we need to hurry up and get the other started too.
yeah. Let's what's in the danger? Everyone's saying that.
Let's think of the next one.
Go ahead, bust through the wall.
Okay.
And
Well, I
then
can fire a hole through it,
Sure.
and then you
So-
can go through the wall.
You would know you probably don't want to use missiles in a mech bay. So
But it's
like
fun.
machine guns, basically.
Yeah.
And as you're doing that,
can you like aim
Um,
right here though? Can you like come from like right there?
We don't have to map. We dance if you want.
so you
But we know that they're by me. I was
if you don't want to use ballistics in here, you're basically going to shoot like a mech-shaped arc to weaken it, and then just Kool-Aid Man.
Okay.
Okay, so you
have to
open
have-
fire and then you Kool-Aid Man through.
All right.
We know where they are.
As soon as you bust through the wall, go ahead and put this and the mech bay on the opposite wall.
And then make bay. This where?
That wall.
No. In the same mech bay,
Same room.
right there. Those rockets are faced at her. They are waiting on you, and they unleash a missile barrage.
A poof missile barrage. That's what we said we didn't want to. I said. Did that wall exploding not do any damage to her?
No, she shot it up with the 50 cal and then
The wall
Kool-Aid
ate
Man.
most of it.
Yeah. All right, so 3 of them hit
That's
your torso, and you no longer have armor on your center torso on your neck.
We don't have these sheets for us.
You're not going to need it. I'm just letting you know you have lost all armor on your center torso.
on my
Camp
left
down.
center torso.
Center torso.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm missing a page.
Okay, so the guys that fired the missiles at you are in EOD armor, like explosive ordnance disposal. One of the guys that you saw duck into this room has climbed into her mech and is firing it up. The other one, well, there were 2 that were already hit. They are paced, as is the other one. So let's
what
go
are we
ahead and
doing?
remove the 4 that are in that room.
They're not a problem.
Yeah, those minis are out.
The thing is, with the one climbing into danger, I want him alive.
Okay, I'll leave him for you.
There is currently a Draconis Combine soldier in danger, and 2 guys in EOD suits firing missiles at you.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure what that means. That means if I shoot them with anything, it's gonna blow them up.
No, so they're wearing like bomb disposal suits. So you know, like the big, bulky, like.
Meant to protect them if the
I
bomb
don't
goes
know,
off.
but I'm following.
Okay.
Your mech weapons can still tear them up, but they can fire missiles at you without really being in danger.
Yes.
Okay.
They're like bomb-proof suits.
But like, I can use any of the.
So they're like
materials.
anti-ballistic.
So
You would want to use like laser weapons on them, basically.
Does my mech have laser weapons?
Yes,
Okay.
you have a medium laser.
Medium laser. Woo! Okay. Does Kool-Aid Manning through a wall use up all my action economy for this turn?
Yeah, pretty much. You had to just charge through that wall.
Okay, so I am letting you know on the comm. You need to rescue Danger. He's possessed.
Give me about 2 seconds. I'm gonna be in there.
But we got 2 guys firing off missiles.
Running top speed behind you is Brooks, who comes up right up against the wall and peers around. Brooks looks like they're gonna make a run for Danger.
You get in my neck, I shoot you.
Brooks, the guy who's trying to help you out,
He can get this way.
he's performing an exorcism.
Can you please move Brooks up next to the wall?
How we doing? How we doing, bro?
Is he in or?
No, he's in. He's still in the same room as a little commando over there.
Am I?
All right, so you're still firing up your mech, and
Not my way.
well, not your
That's my mech.
and everything turns on, and it unengages from the mounts, and you can move freely.
Can I ask you a couple of questions on that?
Okay, so what do you do?
What do I do? Okay, let's get moving.
I can move right.
Yeah.
What's the speed to this mech? Where's my mech? Do I have like a little
If you don't have a wall in the way, you can cover 20 spaces on this mech.
But you also have another mech in the way.
I would have moved aside if that was a problem. Like, I'm not sure where my gap in the wall is that I made.
You don't really have room. These hangars are meant for one mech.
Let's do this.
And the crews to work on.
Oh, okay.
Can I bust through this wall?
Sure.
It's gonna use up your action economy to bust through a wall. I'm just letting
Yes.
you know, 'cause that's what happened with me.
I can't fire at all.
You fire at the wall and then bust through it.
But then you wouldn't be able to move after that, and that's what you're
Right.
trying to sort out.
Got it. Okay, I have to bust through that wall. You guys are
Okay. So you shoot the wall up and you Kool-Aid Man through it, and now you are both in the room with Danger. Now, your mechs take up 4 squares, not 1. So put it in the middle.
I would be here.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Exactly.
They are big.
Danger at that side probably even takes up more.
Yeah, he's big. Okay, so back to this end of the building.
Awesome. Am I?
You hear Preacher yelling, "I need help! I need it now!"
Okay. Can I run? Is my question. Still give him the first aid kit and then run into the kitchen.
Okay, yeah, if you run and toss it through, like, here, and throw it to him, you can turn back around and go through the kitchen door.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
As you go through the door, you are hit in the head with a pot.
First a chair, now a pot. What is it with people and hitting me today?
There is a woman in the kitchen who is not dressed like a cook. What?
I'm swallowing. Falling.
She is a civilian who looks, she is in clothing that looks like she's like a landscaper, basically. And when you came through the door, she just chucked a pot at you because she doesn't have any weapons.
Did I take damage from that?
1 damage.
I mean, if you keep
You need
taking
to
one
roll
damage,
to see if you are dazed.
what am I rolling?
This is gonna be 2d6.
11.
Yeah, you're fine.
Awesome.
Okay. So like as soon as she hits you with the pot, she's like, "Wait a minute! You're one of the patsies!"
Unfortunately, but we're trying to fix the situation.
She says, "Why are the the evacuation alarm's going off. She's like, why are the evacuation alarms going off? They're killing everybody!
Well, the Draconis Combine is kind of not a good organization. They have turned
Well
on all
said.
of us. Hey,
Well
words are hard.
said.
Words are hard. They've turned on us and you guys from the looks of it. So I'm just here for George's spices.
She's like, oh, they're right here. And there's this like beautiful handmade spice rack.
Sure, then we'll make another one again.
And she takes it and slides it across the counter to you and bends down, picks up a chainsaw. Lauren says, let's go.
Yes! You freaking kidding? I love her so much.
Yeah. This is Linda,
Hi, Linda.
the lumberjack.
Linda the lumberjack. I love her.
So Linda's ready to follow you out with a chainsaw.
Okay, I moved
You moved 10.
10. Okay, so I have another 10 moves that I could go for running.
If you're gonna grab his spices,
How far into it can you go?
you step in like another space, and it's gonna take some of that movement up to be able to like get it and collect it, and tuck it properly.
So how much more am I losing?
You can probably get back out into the hallway. And
Here or-
Linda, you can go right there. Linda's gonna follow you into the hallway. You hear the chainsaw, and she's like, "How many more are you?"
There's 4 of us, and then there's Preacher and Rookie.
And she yells out for Preacher, and Preacher's like, "Linda!" And he's like, "Rookie's dying!"
Well, let's go help him. Can't move any
What do
quicker
you
this
do?
time.
I'm moving. I probably had to move into like here or here to
Grab the stuff off the
grab
shelf.
stuff. So 1, 2. I'm running, so I've got a good 25 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I would say that you are encumbered with as much as you're carrying.
Which does what?
It's gonna cut your movement in half. So your 25 turns into 12.
Well, I gotta grab my stuff out of the.
Okay, you can make it back into there. You set the thing down and you grab your stuff to shove back into the pack. All right, so you have all the map data and the black box and the Star League server and the controller for Nadia, and your hands are full.
Yep. Admin was the one that we had to set the pulse off in, right?
I believe so. Let me double check my notes. Admin, unlock mech, control room, download maps, and EMP everything. So it's the control.
Just control. Okay, so once that's all dealt with, I will set up charge.
So you guys have this little conversation in front of Linda, and Linda's like, "I got you, EMP," and runs up to the console and starts hacking it with the chainsaw.
I love her.
She's so great. I don't know how to feel.
She's like, and there's sparks flying.
Great.
And as these sparks start flying, the console catches fire, and the fire suppression system goes off throughout the entire building.
Oh, that.
Honestly,
Sprinklers?
It's not just sprinklers; it's
Probably.
spraying like pink foam on everything.
yeah, it's probably. I would say it's probably spraying like fire extinguisher foam.
Yep.
To put out these fires.
The hangars are on a separate system, but the fires in the hallway are being put out. And you're like, why was the fire suppression system only active from in here?
I don't even know. Now I'll be confused because I didn't even know that was happening over there.
Yeah, like suddenly pink foam is spraying all over your neck. You gotta turn on your windshield wipers.
This is a frat boy car wash.
Cool.
I'm just gonna put my
Remember,
back
two
to
people
the
can't
phone.
pilot 4 mechs. We're gonna need help.
Yeah.
We gotta get over there.
You get over the comms. Nadia says, you know, I know you have my control unit.
Yeah.
A little help?
Not need pairing?
Linda's gonna need pairing, but I think it was established that all we really have to do is run the program.
Neat!
So like I can start doing that.
You roll medicine for creatures. No, this would be med tech.
I can start doing that. Would that be like a mechanic? Would that be like a mechanical thing, or is that
For
like
med tech?
or for
I just wanted to roll. Oh, for you?
for yeah? Or am I just able to kind of just set
Well,
up?
your hands are kind of full right now. But with med tech, he's able to stabilize rookie.
Okay, so this was preacher.
Right.
Okay, awesome.
Preacher stabilizes rookie, but Preacher is real skinny. He can't carry rookie. And you hear him yelling for Linda, asking her to come carry rookie out of here. And she runs into the room,
Linda, don't leave me.
hands Preacher the chainsaw, and picks up rookie.
Oh my god!
Muscle mommy here.
I need like a break. I need a minute. I need a minute, okay?
Oh.
You thirsty?
We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Okay.
If you
Brought
want,
you water.
Linda is a very strong woman. You could
Do a lot of things.
hang something on her harness
Yeah.
and free up a hand.
That was actually going to be one of the things I was going to ask if we could have one of the.
It'll take the rest of your turn to take, we'll say you take the Starlink drive and you mount it to her back.
Cool.
Cool. All right. And
That's
now
fine, 'cause I
you
can
can,
do the.
on the next turn, you can fuss with the controller. Okay. On your end of the facility, what are you doing?
Gonna light him up with lasers.
All right.
We're gonna have a laser light show.
So roll gunnery mech.
Woo! Can me and Linda hold hands and watch this show?
She's carrying rookie.
Multitask?
It takes 2 hands.
Have you never carried somebody?
Clearly not. She just wants to carry Linda.
I think it'd be vice versa. But
After the wedding.
I mean, it's not every day that you run into a woman who's 6'4", 250 pounds of muscle.
Woo!
10.
Huh?
10.
10. Okay.
You did.
So you light them up with a medium laser, and their rocket pods explode, blowing them up and blowing half the armor off of the left side of Danger.
Sorry.
Screw
You'll live.
you.
You'll live. How many fights has he gone through?
I have to do more graffiti.
And when that happens, Danger's not quite fired up yet. The guy goes to climb out because he's like panicking, and Brooks chucks a wrench at this guy.
Yes!
beat him in the.
Leave him alive!
That is a crit. Just bam, just beams him right in the head. The guy falls off the ladder onto his face.
Okay, Brooks, you
all
can have him. You can have him, Brooks.
Brooks
Okay.
runs over, just starts stomping on him.
All right.
Valid.
That's for his buddies.
You can have him.
And as she's yelling, anybody here speak Portuguese?
Oh,
Nope.
nice. Nadia can translate, can't she?
Are you going to ask Nadia to translate?
Yep. I want to hear
Nadia was the same.
every terrible word that comes out of his mouth.
So Nadia says across the comms, it sounds like she's attempting to yell at him in his native language, but he doesn't speak Portuguese as far as I know.
Oh, you racist.
And she, huh? No, she's just like yelling in another language, right? And she says, it appears that this is one of the crew that shot her.
Oh, neat. Vengeance.
And she is stomping his face in.
There.
Yep.
Wait, who's she?
Brooks.
Brooks.
Was it the mechanic?
Brooks is the mechanic.
Is it she, they pros?
You know, Brooks behind the behind Danger, where she's stomping the guy's face.
Got it.
I can almost reach. You got me happy. Wait.
Sure, just knock Brooks over.
Where were you?
She's doing you
Yeah, right there. And she has taken out the guy, but Danger is still firing up.
Kind of go. No.
You want to hop out of this mech and into
Yeah.
Danger?
As I go to the guy that's on.
All right, so it'll take all of your movement to climb out and go climb into Danger instead.
A quick little sidekick.
Now, your armor on the left side is shredded.
Do I have a little thing to? We usually have a little dry erase marker and the sheets to.
We're not in mech combat, so just make a note that when we do get into mech combat, you have no armor on the left side.
My notes don't look like me.
Cool. Well, write them down in your
Gonna get lost.
squiggles. That's okay. Someone.
You want to see how many pages that I have?
I just saw scrolled out a little stressed.
There's more. A little bit more. Some more.
So, nobody here speaks Portuguese.
Nope. Here's like the most accurate notes that I have.
If you would like to roll,
I know German. It's not gonna.
you want to roll just protocol or streetwise.
Okay.
See if you get the gist.
Plus charisma. -1, so 18.
So Brick's books is like Daddy was an Englishman, Mama was a Brazilian, and speaks English and Portuguese.
Oh.
And her mama's coming out there just stomping on this guy.
Neat. Alright.
And that's what you got. That's going on now. You took out these guys with the rockets. Are you gonna move?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Can you take the rocket guys off the map, please?
Rocket guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my movement to approach the wall,
Okay.
or be back enough that I can relieve me on next round.
Would the explosion have caught the wall?
It's weakened.
Okay.
You want to try running through it?
Sure.
Okay.
Jane.
Yeah.
Can I go through the wall? Wow. I go through the wall.
You come into that room to see another Draconis Combine soldier making a beeline for that mech.
No.
Am I
No,
able to
now
act
you know
on
how it
this turn?
feels.
Huh?
Am I able to act on this turn?
You already fired your laser. You're going to fire machine guns? Okay. You can open up with your machine guns.
Yay!
Roll to hit.
All right, and this was a gunnery mech, correct?
Yes.
I believe that's a 8. Hang on. G. Yeah, 8.
Okay. So this
That's a
guy
small target.
manages to dodge your machine gun fire.
He's a
He
small
is
target.
hiding behind the mech.
Take a little shrapnel piece of cement. Got it. All right. We got
But
another
you are
road.
now in possession of Danger.
You hear me? I'm on the comm telling you we got another road from this way.
Oh, I hear it. I'm on my way.
And you're gonna ask Brooks to do anything? Or?
Sure. Like, hey Brooks, this guy's too small for my guns.
Brooks turns and runs towards the other mech that you just hopped out of.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like Brooks. Am I taking him off the board?
Yep.
Sweet.
Just leave him down there because he might hop back out. We don't know what's going on. These two in the hallway are going to come back around over to this side.
Okay.
Where the entrance to the next hangar. Where the last mech is.
Okay.
Because the fire suppression system put out the fire.
Yeah, right?
They come into the hangar.
You said no.
No, they come into the hangar through the door. And one of them has a man pad fired. Like a shoulder mounted rocket. At the doorway. And like fires and ducks and like tries to get out of the way of the blast. He succeeds with an 11 on the dice. So they're both in the hallway now, not in the room. They fired around at you and shred the armor on your left arm.
Oof.
And that's their turn. Back to y'all when you're doing.
Can I sprint?
Sure.
Cool.
I'm gonna.
Carrying a spice rack.
Yep.
Now there is pink foam on the floor, and you're going to need to make a skill check to run across it without slipping and
What
falling.
if I
in the
slip into the mess room and go through here? Oh, but then I'd
It's-
still have to go there.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Fire suppression gel is everywhere.
Okay, so what am I doing? What am I rolling?
We are going to. If you had the skiing skill, I would let you try that, or ice skating. But this, I think, will be acrobatics, trying to stay on your feet.
I do not have that skill.
Then it's going to be an untrained skill check.
So I still roll the dice and
Yep.
just whatever's on the dice?
Yep. -1.
Ooh, so a 9
9.
total.
So 8.
No, it was 10 total.
Oh, 10
minus
total
1.
is a 9. Okay, cool. So at a 9, you'd make it. At an 8, you would fall flat on your butt.
Well, I'm glad I made it.
Very.
Yep. You are running through fire suppression gel and doing okay.
Skating.
Wait. 1, 2, 3.
Like every time you turn a corner, you slide a little, but you're staying on your feet.
With spices.
Yeah, with carrying a spice rack of all things.
Definitely don't let the cumin fall out.
What's your movement?
She is running as fast as she can, all the way to the end, up to that hallway.
Yep.
You
The
get
fact
to that
you made it
corner,
is amazing.
and as you get to the corner, a burst of submachine gun fire lights up the corner next to you.
Woo!
The guy guarding the man with the man pad has a submachine gun.
Of course.
What are you doing?
She's
Here?
covering her mouth.
I am going to be first. I'm going to start running the diagnostic for Nadia to be able to get the controller set up.
Okay.
Am I able to do that and still run?
She asks you to patch your personal communicator into the controller. Yeah.
Neat.
Is that what kind of check am I running for that? Or
That
is
will
it
be mechanics. It will
Okay.
use mechanics. It'll be computers to operate it. But you can't do this while running.
So that is a 8.
Okay? I'd say you successfully patch into it. But it's gonna like use up pretty much all your movement. At your whole turn, you're like trying to jerry-rig this thing as quick as you can. But at that point, you have a functioning controller, and you see it paired with doot, 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 and like little screen on it lights up, and you can see essentially what Nadia sees as if you were like flying a Mavic drone.
Cool.
With the windows like this.
Then yeah, I'm gonna. Am I able to at least move into the control room?
I'll let you dip into the control room.
Cool.
And Linda is carrying him. And Preacher is like, what are we doing?
We're running from the mechs. I say as I sprint past him.
As I run past
So
you.
Preacher follows you.
Run!
Preacher's actually a little faster than you.
Whoa.
He's a beanpole.
Yeah.
And he's running. And
It falls.
Hey.
No, he doesn't slip and.
Tortoise one's already-
I'll roll and see if he slips and falls.
Tortoise ones are.
No, he got a crit on the dice to run through the foam, but he got to the corner before you did.
Creature.
He got shot.
No.
He's not dead, but he is hit.
Hit where?
Preacher.
The right
We
shoulder.
look before we cross the hallway.
Okay.
He
Right
drops
shoulder
the
is deadly.
chainsaw.
While it's still on?
Well, you have to pull the trigger and everything.
Okay.
So he drops it, and the emergency shutoff kicks in. So he's like, ah, and like falls to the ground.
I can't operate any
I'm just seeing if I have like a medicine skill at all. I do not. He's SOL until someone else can help him. This was Preacher, right?
I have med tech. Does that work? Is med tech?
Can you pull him out of the
I'll say that he actually pulls himself back across the ground next to you, out of the way of the gunfire.
Okay.
So almost.
I was like, I didn't think I
skinny
could do
blood
anything while I was
Yeah.
sprinting.
And that's where he is, and you are with Linda and Rookie. And Linda is like waiting on you. She's like,
Oh,
what are you doing?
I'm like, go ahead. I gotta make sure that we get these turrets and everything shut down so we can get out of here.
Okay, so Linda is going to take off running up this hallway, and she is rolling to see if she slips and falls. Oh man, she's 9 on the dice for someone this athletic, and this acrobatic. She's a lumberjack.
Okay.
It looks like she's skating down the walls, man. She's running with Rookie. They're covered in pink fire foam.
Where they end up at?
She gets to right up behind you guys, and she drops to her knees and slides up right behind you and like bumps into you and sits down Rookie and reaches over and just slams her hand down on the gunshot wound on Preacher.
Oh. Okay.
Applying direct pressure.
Am I able to set up charges?
Yes, you can use your turn to set up those charges, and you have finished pairing the controller with Nadia.
Ooh, demolitions, correct?
Yep.
I have that.
Hear me out.
That is a 12.
It's not a hear me out. It's just
Alright.
that.
12 total demolitions.
They are rigged. They will go off in 3 turns.
Cool.
Better run.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 50 sprint, so.
All right, so if you're going to sprint, we're going to need you to roll to go through the fire suppression system.
That is a 9. Plus reflexes, so just 9.
Just 9. That is just enough. If it was an 8, you would fall on your butt. So you pull up on this scene, and you see Linda trying to stop the bleeding. Rookie is still unconscious. You're standing at the corner with your hands full with the giant spice rack. And look,
And you hear a machine gun.
you hear machine gun fire. Back to your end. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
You gonna try and shoot this guy with a machine gun again?
Yes, because Brooke didn't come take him out. That's okay. Good fire taxes. Anyway.
I'm the one with
Alright,
the curve.
so gunnery next, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That guy is paced.
Red mist.
It's like the first round hit him and just sent Gibbs flying, and you picked every Gib out of the air. Like,
The roach is
you
crying.
hit someone with a crit and a mech machine gun. Have you ever seen an A10 Warthog and what it can do?
Yeah.
Think that times 2. So when this is over, you're gonna have to watch that.
Okay.
Yeah,
To
please.
put it into perspective, I've literally seen one. You can with the bullets shoot like a tree down,
Yeah.
like a full size thick tree trunk.
I watched a training exercise with one, and somebody cut a car in half with it on a straight.
That's insane.
Yep.
Car?
Yeah.
You have to think about like how large the caliber of bullet is.
It's a 50 caliber Gatling gun.
Okay. The big
So that's like
Yeah.
I want to like look it up.
It's crazy. So that's essentially what she just hit this guy with like 50 rounds with 50 cal. Yeah. There's nothing left.
All right.
In fact, that whole wall is shredded.
Oh, good. That was
You
my
see
next
shrapnel
question.
just going through the wall. It blows all that crap out. Like, not a big enough hole for a mech to fit through, but if there was something in that hallway, it's crazy, and the guy that shoots the submachine gun turns and looks that direction. Brooks hears something in the hallway, pokes her head out, the guy turns back to fire.
No, Brooks was in the mech.
She was climbing into the mech, but she spent her turn stomping the guy's face and then ran to the mech.
Oh, okay.
So with the explosion over there, she pokes out in the hallway and the guy shoots towards her. Somehow manages to miss her, and the whole doorway is pockmarked with submachine gun fire. And you hear him pull back and pop it again. Like hear him change clips.
Here is the red machine
Gone.
We have gone from his soul in
At that,
never feel like a plastic bag.
what are you doing? You are now in danger.
I'm gonna turn around and absolutely open fire on this guy.
He's in the hallway near the door.
Can I not shoot through the wall and just blast him?
You can't see.
You could try.
I know
It's gonna be
he's
very
there.
high
I mean, I know
hit.
he's like there.
Don't roll low.
Relatively.
Go ahead.
Relatively. Okay, so I have not rolled anything yet today. So
But
remind
you
me how
do
I
know
did.
we're waiting on our friends to come help us.
You're gonna roll your dice.
I'll shoot my Gauss pistol.
You're in your mech.
You're in your mech.
You're shooting gunnery mech.
Gunnery mech.
Okay, gunnery mech. Okay.
I'm assuming you're using the machine guns on your mech,
Yeah.
because that's effective.
You have
against
gunnery
infantry.
also.
Gunnery all. Oh, I have level 10.
Yeah, you're the best gunner in this party.
No kid. And that's a 6 and a 1.
So that's 7 plus 10 is 17
17.
plus reflex plus dex. So reflex is 0, dex is 0. So
He's
that's
already used
just
his
straight.
reaction.
17.
17.
Neat.
The hallway is filled now with concrete, smoke, and red mist.
I did it!
You sound so proud of
At
yourself.
that, you have actually taken out all the combined forces in this station.
Good.
Jade's a back down, so you're in frame.
You guys can easily get everybody to the ship.
Yep.
And you're flying Nadia into the ship.
How
right?
much time do we have?
I think that specifically I have to wait for this to go off so that the AA guns aren't in working order so that I can safely get Nadia in.
Okay.
And that should be enough times to get the last mech up and running,
Correct.
which is my mech.
Okay, so you fire up your mechs and you get into your main ship.
Yep.
Somebody want to roll medtech to try to. So your ship's out there, so you have your equipment to try to save creatures.
I have medtech.
I don't have the Ventex.
I have 5.
Okay.
2 plus 5. 11.
There is 11 plus,
Intelligence.
which is not high.
11, 10.
Okay. Yes, you successfully treat his wound, and you guys get into your ship. At that point, you hear some explosions from the other side of the base, and you see the anti-air guns go.
Cool. Seeing that, I'm going to pull the controller out and I'm going to fly Nadia to the ship.
Okay. You get Nadia over here, and you notice as you're flying her that Nadia is a lamb.
what?
Land, air, net. She is currently in airplane mode.
Yep.
I want to turn her into mech mode so bad.
She does not have her mech protocols yet. You have to find them and install them.
So, yeah, I'm gonna get Nadia on the ship. I think we should probably get Preacher into the med bay inside Nadia.
So you have basically a land air mech that is fully that is, it's a sentient land area. About as illegal as it gets.
So,
If any of the factions found out you had her, you would be wanted by everyone.
What's new?
yeah, so
It's fine.
I think that we should probably get Preacher into
The medbay.
Medbay.
You have just enough room for everyone.
Would they
You
want to
cannot fit
destroy
anyone.
Nadia, or would they want to take her?
So-
Probably bit of A, bit of B.
Yeah,
It
they would,
depends on who gets
they would
her.
want the tech,
Yeah.
and they would want her dead.
Got
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna. I figure we do that.
Can I just like fangirl over apples level 10?
Linda is covered in fire suppression gel and blood from Rookie and from Preacher.
Fun and good.
Yeah, she's just a giant muscle mommy in your ship now.
It's like, you know, like I'm sitting on the other side. Just like,
So, are we pre-flighting and going out?
yep.
Getting out?
Okay, as you take off,
We got placemat.
you start getting proximity warnings about a mile out of the nuclear warhead. These are completely illegal.
Yes.
Was that what's heading to the base?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we document that? Trying to the story around.
Nadia's cameras are on her, not in your ship. Have any way to record this?
Pull out my iPhone 8 and just start slow-mo recording it.
I have an iPod.
Do you know if any of us have like a camera or anything? Would that be something that we have?
No, the only thing I have is I have my like diagnostics computer, which probably wouldn't have a way to record that.
I feel like as a combat correspondent, I would probably have a camera.
All right, you would have a film camera,
That's fine, as long as I can document
like an
everything.
old school film camera.
I can make that work.
Let's roll your interest photography and see how good the pictures you snap of this incoming warhead are. Who's flying the ship while you're flying ship while she takes pictures? Cool.
I
Well,
have
there,
an interest journalism.
This is going. Yeah, that's what we'll roll. Well, you don't have the photography skill. I won't treat it as fully untrained because you are a journalist. But it's going to be a straight roll. It's going to be a very difficult check because she's a crazy pilot.
while they're doing that, I want to start analyzing the drive that.
Nadia comes across the comms and says, "Before you fidget with old hard drives, would you mind doing a girl a favor?"
What do you need?
She asks if you would plug the interface in her comms system. And when you go inside her, like, she opens the hatch, and it's a perfect fit.
Interesting.
So immediately, like, all the systems reboot, and like, she's like, "One moment, rebooting," and like, you see everything in her shut down and fire back up. Nadia can now fly herself.
Cool.
See if the missile evades your photography.
What?
Oh my gosh. I'm just seeing how fast the missile's flying. The missile right for you. You get one usable picture of a nuclear armed ballistic missile flying past you,
We're able to
planet?
unmarked.
I would say it probably wouldn't mark it if it's illegal like that. You don't want to tie back.
That's why I was, yeah. Like,
Question.
It's Starlink error.
Yep.
Can I ask Nadia if she's been reporting the comms that have come through to us?
Yes.
So that picture mixed with the guy saying there's still time to turn the missile around should be enough evidence, right?
Possibly. You could argue that in court.
Okay.
where everyone has a gun.
If you want the court to know that you're in possession of an AI.
Yeah, we're also all illegal, so. Maybe court isn't the best way to go.
Yeah, court is not the best way to go about this.
No, but you know,
Guns are.
if mud hits the fan, we can take them down with us.
As a journalist, you know the court of public opinion can go much farther than the legal system.
I could publish a paper.
The other thing that I will tell you is a little bit relevant is the Draconis Combine does have enemies, and those enemies would probably be more interested in this information than
We could
Other
sell
people
it.
would be.
We could
You
sell
do
it.
know, as a Terran, if you were to contact your local contacts on Terra, we may be able to exchange said information for them turning a blind eye to your possession of Nadia,
Can I try to do that?
if you make it out of this alive.
Okay, awesome. Let's try to make this out alive, please.
Nadia comes over your comms and says, the cruiser in orbit has dispatched 3 squadrons of fighters.
We just keep shooting.
She says, I can take one of your gun systems,
Oh, nice.
and the forward turret, you lose control of.
Okay.
My turn.
You're going to take the left turret or the
Yes.
right turret, or the upper turret.
Ooh, upper first.
The upper's on top, obviously.
Upper.
All right, so you hop into the turret at the top of the ship. Who's taking left? Who's taking right?
I'll take left.
I'll take right.
Okay. Let's see if you make it out alive. All right, so first, the fighters are going to strafe. They are coming at the left side first. And they are going to get
Can
their
I
attack
shoot
in
as the
first.
upper?
The first is a hit. Second is a miss. Third is a hit. So your hull integrity on that side, you can withstand 4 more hits like that on that side before you lose hull integrity over your gunner station. But you may return fire at one of the cracks.
Cool. I rolled a 7 to return fire.
Okay. See if they're evasive maneuvers. Whoops, I dropped my dice. I failed at my own evasive maneuvers. Just between my feet. They rolled an 11 on the dice. They are going to evade the journey.
Can I?
The second is coming down above the craft, shooting at the top where you are. First one is Snake Eyes.
Good.
Second is a miss. Third is a miss. Are you going to return fire?
Yes.
All right, roll.
Yes, I
to
am.
hit.
This is gunnery all.
Yep.
Is that
If it's got a gun, you can shoot it, basically.
14.
That is a direct hit with the main gun. You take out one of the fighters in one shot.
I'm just like,
The third
Oh,
squadron
I
is
got
coming towards your side.
what a surprise.
We have 1 hit, miss.
You're like, Merlin, this is how you do it.
So the damage, you can take 4 more hits on that side before you lose that side.
I'm gonna roll the return fire.
9 die.
This
I'm
is
gonna
gunnery. This is gunnery aerospace.
So this would be untrained then.
I'll treat it as a +0 because you are proficient with mech guns, so you're not fully untrained.
Okay. So then it's just a straight 9.
Roll a 3 to evade.
Ooh. Good job.
So because it's not the main gun,
Sorry, I thought
Five
about
seconds.
it.
Nadia, what are you doing here?
okay, because this is not the main gun, you do choose fighter up a little bit, but he could withstand another, like the next hit would take him.
Okay.
Nadia on the front. She says, projectile incoming. And you see this cruiser There is a Trans-Combine cruiser launches with long-range missile.
That's not right.
I would like you to roll to evade.
Okay.
It is locked onto your ship. You're gonna have to roll to evade.
Okay. So there's piloting, right?
Yes. You can't get a nat 20 on 2d6.
You don't have a net 20, by the way. Guess what it's that? Yeah.
Yours?
10.
10.
Oh, wait, that's 10.
All right.
If I get a nat 20, I get to make it with Lydia.
5.
Never
You
mind.
evade by 1.
Sounds on brand.
So it's like this missile's coming. It looks like it. Like everybody, like even Nadia's like, you might want to at least barrel roll. And like at the last moment, you know, you can hear the fin scrape across the bottom, and it passes you. And
I'm trying to give my gunners, stable place to keep them.
yeah. So because she is taking evasive maneuvers, your next gunnery roll will be reduced by 2.
Oh no!
What will I do?
Can I use 0G operations to kind of...
Do you have 0G operations?
I have 1 level of 0G.
I have quite a... I have like plus 12 to my 0G.
Wait, where?
Roll it. Let's see how well you do.
Oh, cool.
That is an 8 plus... 10 is 18.
Yeah. Okay,
plus
so you're unaffected
natural
by the
attribute.
barrel roll. You're over there like, wee! Let's see if you puke, though. Because you're not really used to aerospace.
This is true.
Fair enough. Alright, what am I rolling?
You're gonna roll 0G operations.
Yep.
Ooh, about that, I don't get that.
Cool, it's untrained, -1.
9 minus 1 of the 8. Plus any reflexes that you have.
Plus
0.
8.
You puke.
Aww. Can I just aim? If I'm on top, can I just aim down and then do it?
You're cleaning that
So,
up.
like,
Roberta.
you're like on the go, like, yeah! As, so it's rolling, and so the vomit just goes.
I'm just out here like, yeah, this is, whatever. Like,
You're cleaning it.
To roll to see if I puke too.
Yep.
So why would you ask?
I grew up on a
Is
ship.
9.
I got a nat 12.
Okay.
You're like, and you're fine. Seeing that you just threw up, you didn't have like time to turn on your automated targeting and all that yet. You literally just hopped in the gunner seat and started shooting
I'm
manually.
just gonna shove Jared out of the chair.
No, you're in the
You're like
top,
way up top.
but your view window is like partially obscured.
So
So like you can start wiping the vomit off of your window this turn, but you won't be able to use the main gun.
So look at it like this. It's kind of like I would be here on the ship. Hannah would be here on the ship. You would be like up here, and then Nadia's controlling the one that's like way at the front.
Okay.
So as the guys shoot at the top, nope,
So generous.
nope. Well, 3 6s in a row. With their gunnery added, is going to not hit anything vital at all.
Good.
By literally 1 point. They need 7s on the dice edge. As they pass, Nadia is going to open fire on one of them with the front gun
Oh,
and roll a 12.
Because of course you would.
good.
So as he flies by, Nadia's just like, and like right in the sweet spot, and just tears the thing up. The front gun is a little more powerful than the side guns, and she takes out one of the fighters. So you, the squadron that was attacking the top, there's only one left.
Yay!
Now, Nadia tells you to head straight for. So basically, there's like for interstellar travel, you have basically like you would see in like other sci-fi's like jump rings or like other craft you dock
Stargates.
with. to jump from one place to another. You can pull in at top speed and use it, but you're going to need quite a piloting roll to do so. Or you can maintain this speed and deal with 4 more rounds of fighters.
My character is not me. My character would do it. We'd try and speed through it.
Okay, roll piloting aerospace.
You have piloting all, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can fly distractedly.
11.
11 total or 11 on the dice?
No, it's 7 on the dice.
Okay,
Hang on.
I think we gave you piloting all further down.
Yeah, okay.
If that's it, you're gonna start kicking on, I swear.
Okay, because I was looking at. Yeah. Piloting is plus 10. Never mind. So 17.
good, because you were looking for a 16.
1 point. 1 point again.
Yes. So like, as you are coming in, the moment that you could you break just in time that there's a huge as you dock and hit the trigger and it goes.
I didn't want to fire any of these Draconis fighters.
You can as she is going in. Sure, it's gonna be a little harder.
That's
I would
fine.
also like to do so. Can I?
At -5 because you haven't got all the vomit off. But sure.
That's,
You
11.
may. 11. All right, you will hit one. Let's see if he dodges. He does not.
13.
Oh, 12.
Even better. So you pick one of those off. The main gun. The third guy from the squadron that was attacking you is picked off.
Yeah.
Missed.
Yeah, I figured.
It went wide.
How many shots do I get at this one?
Just one. The main gun is like a Gauss rifle, and the side guns are like little Gatling guns. And at that, you make the jump out of this system.
Woo! Where did we go? We're not in this system anymore. What system are we in?
We'll get to that one next week,
Okay.
because he's made a blind jump. No coordinates. You just said jump.
Okay.
At least we're not gonna get nuked.
But before we end this week, I will let you know the schematics that are on the hard drive are for Nadia.
Nice.
You don't just have Nadia, you have schematics for land air mechs.
Nice.
This is lost Star League technology that everyone wants.
That's big money. That's big money.
I have lots of contacts I can reach out to. Just saying.
Here's the thing is, it's so much money. As soon as
basically
anyone
priceless.
finds out you have it,
For targets.
Yep.
It's basically priceless. Like, it wouldn't
you
even be
know
dealt
it's
in
like
money.
so much money that unless everyone knows who you are, people would rather kill you and take it than pay you. But that, where we're going to end this week.
Another cliffhanger.
So thank you very much for watching. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. And
Leave
not
a
only
comment.
that, share it with a friend, leave a comment, let us know what you think. Thank you very much. I am James.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Ash. Jade.
Jared.
This has been RP Gallery.
Bye.
Bye.